Diego or what? Either of you? Do you have any other points about Concacaf following the
Oh,
Nations League?
this is going to be a hot take. The gap between the U.S. and Mexico and European teams is, in my opinion, has grown. I think both teams are off the mark. I feel like in this upcoming World Cup, round of 16 will be lucky in terms of what I saw
Wait,
on that game.
we're saying that
I'm saying
the USA and Mexico
hot take.
I've gotten farther from Europe.
Yes,
For the
I
best teams in the
personally,
world.
yeah, I personally think that. Yeah, I saw
Wow.
that now. Now this is going to be crazy. All right, hear me out. I know this is a hot take. I know this is fucking insane. I watched the Mexico-US game, obviously. Mexico fan all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking pissed that we lost,
Of
right?
course.
But that game was fucking shite. Like, all around, it was bad. It was like both teams could barely string passes together. Tyler Adams' goal shouldn't have gone in, first off, because that shouldn't have been a goal. The second goal, fine, fair enough. First goal shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have gone in. In no world should that be going in.
That's not how it works, bro.
I also want to say, and Andres, this is like I don't disagree with you per se that like ideas like Ochoa should have been in a better position. Whatever. This is your reaction to every goal that's ever scored against you.
No. Like second goal, fair enough. I'm fine with that. Like, a good goal. First goal should never be going in. That was a slow ass shot from like 25 yards out. He had so much time to react. All he had to do was shuffle his feet. He could have fucking caught that shit. Anyways, it just pissed me off because I could have fucking caught that. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm being dead ass. I would have
conversation.
No, I'm being dead ass. Yeah. Roll the clips. I've made a similar save. I kid you not. Anyway, roll the fucking clip. I don't give a fuck. Roll the clips.
Yeah, you're not being shot on by Tyler Adams, fam.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay,
with that shot, it looked like
80,000 fans yelling in your face, bro.
I really hope that one day, and
I go up against Tyler Adams, and I save the exact shot.
I hope that one day we get big enough, right, where we're interacting with athletes, with football players, and I want to put Andres in goal, and I want to do a 100 shots versus amateur goalkeeper, or Andres or reserve.
I'll do good. I'll do pretty good.
And see what happens.
For semi-pro, I do good. Yeah,
that's okay. Well, back to the footballing take.
Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
That game to me, like, it's supposed to be like the pinnacle of like Concacaf in terms of like the two best teams in Concacaf going at each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at certain spells of that game, nothing was happening for either side. Like, it was just both teams moving the ball around, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to Europe, you're watching the Euros qualifications. I found those games more exciting than the final of Concacaf when the worst possible teams to qualify last for the Euros. I found those games more exciting than that. I found the teams. Who's even playing? Ukraine and Scotland? No.
Yeah. It was Scotland. No,
it was Scotland and someone else. Yeah. Anyways,
I thought it was Ukraine. Yeah,
might have been. I know both teams were playing. I just don't know if they were playing against each other. Those teams were actually able to move the ball fluidly amongst each other as a coherent squad and work the ball and actually swing the ball into good areas, right? Now, yes, I understand that these European countries do have better quality in terms of Concacaf just because of like this is their shit. But I just found that the terms of quality and skill is bigger. I felt because in previous years I felt like it was getting closer. But now I just feel like it's like widened even more, and I think it's just because I feel like both federations, the Mexican and the United States, kind of settled a little bit. They haven't like
really.
I feel like they've settled. I feel like especially Mexico.
Really,
I think Mexico settled way too much. The U.S. They're trying, but Mexico I feel like they've settled, which is our problem. But I just feel like this World Cup, after watching that game, I feel like they're going to be lucky to get out of the group stage or like be barely pushing around to 16, but they're playing like a bunker ball side. Like they're gonna like they don't. That's why that's how I feel. I feel like we're gonna see bunker ball football if they're around to 16 if either of those squads get through. That's a hot take. I know.
Bro was not lying about the hot take. Diego, before I go, give me your thoughts on it.
On the take?
Yeah.
I not that I don't understand your point, Andres. I see where you're coming from.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
I started muting right afterwards. Thank you.
but
Just the way my camera's at. I'm trying to make sure like I'm straight, but like it keeps showing the side of me every time I turn, so it's like anyways, yeah.
I mean, we can see more jawline. It's cool. I don't got a problem with it. Anyways, we saw the U.S. play England, right, in the World Cup. Like, I wasn't. I'm not thinking. I wasn't a dream, right? Like, they did well.
They did well
against England. Yeah,
a draw.
They did well. Yeah, no, they did well
the talent that England
against probably a top 4 favorite of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did well.
So for me, I'm not gonna go. Yes, the U.S. are gonna be lucky to get to the semifinals, of course, but a good draw. Yeah, they can get the round 16 done and over with. A little luck on their side, absolutely. Like I don't know. Are Mexico in a weird rut right now? Yeah, absolutely. Are they kind of like still figuring things out? For sure. But I don't think they've settled. I mean, they keep firing managers and trying to find the right fit. I think if anything, that's the opposite of settling. I think, are they making a lot of mistakes? Sure, but are they still trying? Yes. And I think these teams, they're still figuring things out. They're playing with far inferior talent. But at the end of the day, like, they're trying, and we've seen them put up some good games. I've seen the U.S. put up some good games. Mexico, less so recently, but still. I mean, hell, I saw that Mexico versus Germany game when Lozano scored the winner. I know that was a long time ago, but I saw that. That was fucking fire.
A long time.
That was 6 years ago.
6 years ago, dude. Oh my
god.
Bro,
he's been living on that hype since 2018, bro.
He has.
I ain't talking about Lozano
6 years ago,
but I'm talking about like that feeling of like.
Mexico.
I'll never forget that moment. It was just too. Like that. But you got to remember that 2018 squad was our last chance of doing well in the World Cup. That was our golden generation's last chance because they were getting old at that point. By the next World Cup, like they were like in their 30s. Chicha, Bella.
But like, I don't think that's like the last good squad we're gonna see in Mexico. And like
no, but for a while, I think
Yeah, but my point is like they got there and they had a little bit unlucky, obviously, like throughout the years. But I think it's there, and I don't think they've settled. And I think they can put up a good game against good teams, especially the U.S. At least as of right now. I don't know. I totally think we could see an upset by the U.S. Like just with the right conditions, the right good luck. Obviously, like I said, luck ain't gonna be involved, but. I think we see something. I think I don't know. I think it's a little harsh to be going on like that.
I just because like I'm just saying that because like in terms of like the U.S. like what you just described, you're relying on luck of a draw to be able to beat a team that like I mean in terms of saying progressing, I'm saying like the United States, Mexico should be able to go up against the bigger nations and be like, all right, let's go. Instead of being like, oh, if we're lucky this game, get a good draw, avoid those nations.
Also, like the U.S. aren't gonna match France or England
or
just
Argentina
at the
or nothing. No.
In the system of the way football is like brought up. It's just that's systemic at that point.
The importance of it.
Yeah. And that shit isn't even that's a whole nother level. That's gonna take years.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like what we got right now with the players that we got, some talented players coming up. Yes, you're right. It is luck. Of course, when you're going up against a France or an England, you're gonna need a nice little luck. But that's not taken away from the fact that they're working hard and they have the talent enough to still come out and get a win there. Hell, when you see Man City go up against fucking Crystal Palace and Man City lose, at the end of the day, because Crystal Palace can pull out that win. It just needs to be that right kind of day for them. And they don't have the money or the talent or the manager, but they do it. And I think it's the same for international teams like the U.S. And I agree that they should. Like, we have millions of people. Of course, we should arguably be there, but it's just football isn't in our culture at that level. Yeah.
I think like Mexico, I'm going to agree. It's not that Mexico have gotten far. No, yeah, I mean, no. I would say Mexico have gotten farther from Europe than in years past. Because they are in a rut right now. But I don't know if rut would be the right word. Transitional period. I mean,
Yeah.
like
You
you
saw the
said, that
US do
last
it.
time was the like that 2018 World Cup was the last chance for them to do that with that team. They're still trying to find their next generation of stars of hope. And that might take long. That might be the 2030 World Cup. But I do agree. I mean, Mexico in general are just sitting. Sitting would be my um my phrase there.
So yeah,
But
I agree with that. Just because
yeah,
I feel like I think they're content with that because I feel like in years past losing to the United States so many times in a row, it would be completely unacceptable.
mm-hmm,
But I feel like there's no like urgency to fix that. And I feel like
mm-hmm,
it's since probably like since probably I would say Mexico. I don't want to make this like all Mexico related, but like probably since 2020 when was when the gap started to appear in terms of like realizing
yeah,
we're losing a step. And I feel like nothing's been changed, and it's just the same questions over and over again being asked of, oh, we need to send players to Europe, but none of the teams are letting the youngsters go because they want X amount of money, and European teams are saying, no, we'll just go find someone in our youth academy instead.
mm-hmm,
So it's just like a constant. These questions are being asked, but the federation is kind of like, oh, whatever. We'll just replace a new manager and hope for the best. And
yeah,
honestly, this new manager needs to fucking grow a pair and actually start some players instead of just sticking with his favorites. But that's whatever.
yeah,
That's off the point. But yeah. Anyways, that's my spiel. I'm done talking
yeah.
about it.
That's fair. And I think for Mexico, yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, USA though, I would completely disagree with
That's
you.
fair. Hey, that's fair.
I completely disagree with you. I think if the USA had a competent manager, we would not be having this conversation. I think the only reason you might be like people might be saying this is USA don't really have a set footballing identity, in my opinion. Like I said, Greg Berhalter is not the person to bring us that. He should not be the person to lead to the 2026 World Cup. I do think he probably will, unfortunately. Um, but I do think they've made great strides towards European football, financially, mentally, technically. I do think so. Um, if you keep up with the youth in this country, so many players are being outsourced to Europe now. And at least their academies. Kevin Sullivan. I mean, come on, 14-year-old just got signed by Manchester City. There's a lot of the MLS Next are bringing in a lot of good talent for youth wise. And I do think, I mean, we still have a lot of great American players too that are playing at the highest European heights. Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Florian Balogun is up there. I've talked about this before. I'm not going to go over the whole player list again, but I do think the USA have made their most amount of progress ever in the past 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years towards being European football. So I don't really think you can say that they're not, that they're getting even farther. But so I really do have faith in either USA or Mexico quarterfinal appearance in the World Cup. I mean, that's a final 8 teams. I really do have confidence in a quarterfinal appearance for either one of those teams, or for a Concacaf team in general. I think they're going to be there. So I think to say that they're not getting closer, I don't know. For me, it's just a little far off. It's a little too far off. If you said it maybe 2 or 3 years ago, like yeah, but I think right now, like what they've been doing, at least to develop the soccer in this country, have been phenomenal. It's kind of with the point, kind of off the point. Have you guys seen the new stadium they're building for NYCFC in New York? So
No.
so
No.
they just approved I think a $780 million stadium. Going to be right next to the Met Stadium, right next to Citi Field. It's a soccer specific stadium. So one of the New York's first soccer specific professional stadium. It looks phenomenal. I mean, obviously there's only 3D mock-ups and animations, but it looks fucking beautiful. But like things in like that, a soccer specific stadium in what many consider as in like probably the most famous city in the world, of New York City, is just, to me, that says enough for New York City to approve a $780 million project just to have a better place to watch soccer. Like for me, that says enough of getting close there. And I think we're slowly teetering on that, on the footballing becoming a top sport, a top ambition for youth in this country. So I think we're getting there. I think yes, we still are way off, but we're not getting farther. Is what I'd say.